chilly start to the morning for sure. Just packed up the 2-day camping trip out in the Georgia mountains. It is about 48, 49 degrees right now. A little cold, but it's gonna warm up to 80. I should definitely be good. Just gonna freeze for a little bit first. I'm riding to breakfast, wherever that might be. Chat a little bit about my first BDR ride. Kind of what did I learn? What would I do different? Because I'm going to schedule my second BDR pretty soon once the logistics works out. Go up and do the Northeast BDR. That should be a ton of fun. But the MABDR, Mid-Atlantic BDR, was the first ride you did. I'll pop the video at the end card and down below here. The first thing I take away from it, the longer day. I mean, leaving South Carolina just to get to the start of it, and then of course you ride the BDR, and I had to go from New York back down to South Carolina, so a total of 11 days, but 8 days on the route. Probably just you know, make sure you have a couple campsites in mind. Step one was kind of just logistics and planning. I am so used to with backpacking or just the 2 or 3 day trips on Draven here, just kind of winging it, hopping out there, sleep whenever I find something, which it's been great. I mean, it works perfectly fine for those type of adventures, and backpacking, that's really what it is. You just sleep where you want. But on the longer cycle ride, the MABDR, I kind of went in as with my venture buddy Barry in the video and just winged it. Figured we would find the right place to camp at the right time when we're tired and everything like that, but we really should have just had like a campsite picked out for each day. Hey puppy, you all right? Hope he's okay. Campsite picked out for each day, whether we would have stayed there or not. I think they're looking for that puppy. Yeah, so whether we would have stayed there or not, just have a kind of a space. So take a little stress off a longer trip and have some logistics planned ahead of time, which you might think is pretty simple. But learn from my mistake there. Pack light. Tip number 2 there, man. You don't need to pack your fears. Pack light. Don't bring a lot. Only what you need. I mean, what you can go one night camping in, for the minimums, what can get you through one night of camping is, you know, other than food, is going to get you through every night of camping. So pack light, don't overpack, don't pack your fears, have the bike perform the way it's supposed to instead of being weighted down with everything. I bring my camp table everywhere, so that's kind of my luxury item, but don't overpack, don't overthink it. You know, safety first. Make sure you're going to stay warm enough at night. Make sure you have a Garmin or some type of communication tool, especially if you're riding alone. But don't overpack. That's the biggest thing I saw there, was just heavy bikes. So tip number 2, relax, don't overpack. Number 3 really is, this is the type of thing where you camp to ride, because the ride is everything, instead of riding to camp. Like this particular spot is a little bit more riding to camp. Got out here, played around with some dirt, but had a stationary camp for a couple days. Look at this stuff, man. This is gorgeous. Hot damn. So, you know, while you're in town, especially on these routes, part of the BDR experience is the small towns, going through the small mountain towns and giving kind of back to them on the route. So it was nice to eat at little mom and pop restaurants and those type of things. Everybody's going to be different, and everybody's got some dietary, you know, things going on there as well. But pack what you need for snacks, maybe breakfasts and coffees. But part of that step 2 is pack light. is don't overpack food. There's going to be restaurants the entire way. It kind of adds to the experience, and meet the locals, which I always love doing. Number 4, and very, very important, this aspect comes from long distance backpacking as well, is don't get bottled down in logistics. As I mentioned in step 1, have some ideas of where you're going to stay. Maybe reach out to them and make sure it's going to function, but don't plan the entire trip, because it's just going to go wrong. You're going to add quite a bit of possible nerves trying to get somewhere, or even if you're riding all day and you feel good, then you have to stop because you have something there. Don't program the whole trip. Just get some high points. You might want to stop here for a view, might want to stop here, and don't worry about if the trip goes differently. It's just, you're out there for an adventure. Relax. You're gonna have some ups and downs. I mean, on the MABDR, if you haven't watched the video yet, my Himalayan broke down. We had to tow it with another motorcycle, get it in a U-Haul, get to a repair shop. Craziness. I'll put that video right up here if I can. That took us for pretty much an entire day off the route. But just roll with the punches, have some fun. If you're going with a strong schedule and think you know everything that's going to happen, you're just going to probably get a little frustrated, or feel like you have to speed through things, not take your time to enjoy everything, which on an adventure like that is a big part of it. See something you like, give yourself time to stop. Firewood for sale. The 5th and final point, drum roll. So each of these I would say important, but figure out kind of your navigation, what works for you, have a backup. Make sure you have the GPS file downloaded to your phone, not only like if you're using Gaia or Rever or something like that, you can put it in those systems. But have it local on your phone. They're so small. If anything goes crazy, you can open it in Google Maps. You always have that GPS file. When I was riding a little bit different route, I had made that mistake, and I had it in a couple apps, and even though it was downloaded, it got crazy, but I didn't have it on my phone to reproduce it if needed. So for mapping on this guy here, my Carpy ride, I like to have an app and map. Let me try that again, easier for me to say. One more coffee, John. I'm gonna have an app running here, and then on my phone a separate app. Personally, it's all about personal preference, but I love the view of Rever riding. So I watch Rever, how it changes, describes the turn, works absolutely amazing. And then I run a different app on here, which right now I can't think the name of. I'll pop it up. Oof, I really do need additional coffee. But a really good just outdoor app there. And that particular app, it has, you know, more waypoints, a little bit more easy to interact with, like it's your own map, like you're all under control. You can tap in, I want to stop here, might want to stop here, here's a good camp. You can add waypoints and everything. So just have your navigation figured out, and if something goes wrong, have a way to get your navigation back. Keep your file on your phone in a raw form, not inside of an app. And it takes a little bit of work, but not much, especially Google Maps. So if you just line that corridor, you can go into Google Maps and download the actual map for the corridor of the MABDR. It will take you, I don't know, 10-15 minutes to do it, to get all them downloaded, probably about 7 or 8 maps. But then you can navigate offline in Google Maps to gas, to restaurants, if anything got crazy. You have full control, everything downloaded offline for Google Maps. So there's the big thing. Navigation cannot be, you know, a last minute thing. I'll just pop in here, you just use this app. Give your app your try that you're going to use. Make sure you're safe, and go out and have fun. But the big thing, just don't overthink it. The first BDR is going to be my longest trip. The next BDR will probably match that. You know, it'll be okay. If you've gone camping, if you can camp one night, you can camp every night. So all you need, the difference is food. Don't overthink it. put a little energy in the beginning for some possible waypoints. Make sure you've got your navigation down. It's going to fall apart if you don't. But those are my 5 points, my 5 thoughts off my first BDR. And I'm eyeing 2 more to get done in the not so distant future. Chattanooga BDR X, which is in this area, and then the MABDRs. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. Don't forget to hit the little like button down here. You see it? It's right there. You can take care of it. I appreciate it. Helps those crazy YouTube algorithms. Helps the channel. Just takes you a second. Show a little love to your favorite creators. And I'm going to see if I can get me some breakfast and a coffee. We have more tips and trips for camping. Definitely check this video out right here. Highly recommend it. The camping site itself and what to look forward to. And we'll see you on the next episode, guys. Keep adventuring, have fun, and good night.